Mic off, Paul. Hey,
Arr,
arr, arr.
arr.
Good evening, folks.
Aye.
And happy St. Patty's Day Eve.
Beef.
Okay, I gotta take these out because I can't see through these things. So there, try again. There, hey. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to our Sunday night offering of Astronomy Edutainment, the Sunday Night Astronomy Show. Hey,
Yeah, Sunday show.
my name is Chris Kerwin. I'm the creator of the social media channels known as Astronomy by the Bay. I'm also an amateur astronomer and a member of the RASC of Canada. How's that?
There you go.
Um,
Stick to the script.
easy to say. Welcome back. I'd like to welcome back my two regular co-hosts, but anyway, welcome back anyway. Mr. Paul Owen from the Moonshot Observatory in Hampton. Paul, hi.
Oh,
And Mr. Mike Powell from the PFO Observatory here in St. John. Mike.
Hello.
Hello. And we'd like to welcome all of you tonight from YouTube and Facebook land. We're live on both tonight. Hey.
hey. Lucky the Irish. It's the luck of the Irish.
The Irish, yeah. The wind be at your back. Thank you so much for your support. Anyway, on tonight's episode of the Sunday Night Astronomy Show, let's talk again. There are two large sections of sky that are probably familiar to most who look up: the constellation of Orion and Ursa Major. Ursa Major, the Great Bear, is the third largest of the 88 constellations. It's primarily known for the asterism of 7 stars, the Big Dipper, or the Wagon, or the Plow, among other names. But what other treasures does it hold within its borders? And what are the legends surrounding this familiar patch of sky? Well, tonight we welcome back astronomy guru and storyteller Curt Nason.
Yay. Now.
Understand its significance. Thanks, Curt, for joining us again. Also tonight, Final Bud will be back with another fine binocular target to share. Paul will be delivering another Rosanna's fun fact.
Indeed.
And I'll have a quick look at your photo submissions. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Maybe not.
And a coming celestial event, which is really the next week after that. So anyway, let's get started then with tonight's program and a chat about Ursa Major. Page 2's done. There, look at that.
Yee.
Is that Ursa or Ursula? Ursula Major.
Oh, yeah. Andrews from St. Andrews.
Partnership, time and date. Thanks, Mike. We'll be sharing some information about that a little bit later too.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you. The other Mike.
Oh, never mind.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Try that again. I started with the last slide. There we go. Ursa Major. Not one of the obscure constellations like I've had the last couple of months, but it's the great big mother bear here. And circumpolar for, well, at least for us and for many other areas in the world. And that lays into some of the stories about it. There are lots and lots of stories there. So get settled in. I got about an hour and a half's worth.
Oh boy.
I'll try to talk fast. All right. Of course, we got two asterisms. And of course, most famous asterism is the Big Dipper here, to go along with the Little Dipper there in Ursa Minor. And there's another one. It's these three stars right here. And they call them three leaps of the gazelle. You can see there's a pair here, a pair here. They make the bear's back feet. And this comes from actually from South Korea, where they had a gazelle in here among the stars of, say, Leo Minor before Leo Minor became a constellation. And apparently the gazelle was scared by the lion's tail switching back and forth. So he sprang away. So they called it the three springs of the gazelle. So it'd be hopping away here, here, and here. And so among Ursa Major, we've got lots of other critters. Ursa Minor, the little bear, we got Draco the dragon, two hunting dogs there, three big cats, two lions and the lynx, and a giraffe, which is always hanging around in there. So it's a good zoo spot in here. And with the Polaris right in here, then these will all be zipping around from rising east, well, never setting at all for these circumpolar constellations. Right over to, I think there are like 6 of them that might be circumpolar from our area. Right, so start off with maybe the most famous story about this from Greek mythology. And I'll have to maybe tame this one down a bit, see what I can do there. This one takes place in Arcadia. And actually, it's last month I talked about Eridanus and about Phaethon driving his father Apollo's chariot and causing a lot of destruction because he couldn't handle the horses. And they scorched, driving the sun like that, scorched a lot of the earth. So this sort of picks up from that apparently, because Zeus is down now on the earth, looking around, seeing what the damage was, and he's bringing all the plants back to life, making everything green again, and admiring his work. And as he's doing that, he's up on this hill and he sees this beautiful maiden there having a nap. Now, this maiden is Callisto, and she's a princess, the king of Arcadia. And she's part of a group of young women who have dedicated their lives to what's the one that's up in the moon? The goddess of the hunt. It'll come to me in a few seconds. And they swore they'd have no man. They were dedicated to her. And she's there, and he knows maybe about them. So he wants to know her a little bit better. So he changes himself into the form of Artemis. There we go. I knew I'd get it. And she wakes up and sees Artemis standing in front of her, starts gushing away. But cut to the chase here. There is this close encounter of the first kind. And then Zeus leaves, and several months later, she finds out she's in a predicament. And soon the other women in the group, they discover that as well. So they kick her out of the group. And so she's off living by herself, and then she gives birth to this beautiful baby boy. Now, up there on Mount Olympus is Zeus's wife and sister, Hera. And she's always jealous of his affairs. And so she sees the beautiful woman there and the beautiful baby boy. And so through jealousy, she wants to get some revenge out of this because she can't do anything about her laid-back husband there. So she changes the mother, Callisto, into a bear. The bear runs off into the woods, just leaving the baby there. And eventually somebody from the village finds the baby, takes him home and raises him up. And he becomes he's a young teenager. He's out hunting one day. He comes to this big field, and he looks across the field, and there's this big bear looking at him. Of course, he didn't know the story of his birth, but she recognized him because mothers have that instinct. So she starts running toward him, giving him a great big bear hug. So he takes out his bow and arrow, and he's just ready to kill his mother. And up in Mount Olympus there, Zeus sees, well, I can't have that happen. So he comes down. He can't change his wife's spell, so he changes the boy into a bear as well. Now the boy's name happened to be Arcus. So now we got two bears. He grabs them both by the little scut of a tail, picks them up, being all strong, whips them around like this, and then throws them up in the sky, and their tails stretch out. And that's why the bears have those long tails here in the sky, but they don't really have them there on Earth. So they get up there and they stick up in the sky. Now you think that might make Hera happy, but now she's a little angry because here's this princess, even though she's a bear, and she's looks at herself as being the queen of the sky, but now there's another queen up there. And so she gets one last measure of revenge. She makes sure that these two bears are always thirsty. So they never come down to the ocean or the lakes or the rivers to get a drink of water because they're circumpolar. So they never get down to the horizon like that to get a drink. So they're always up there circling around and never getting a drink. And she got her revenge on that. So this is around 9:30 or so this evening, when the way we see it here. Now, what I'm going to do now is maybe jump into the deep sky objects that we see on here. There are actually 7 Messier objects in this area. And usually I'll do the finest NGCs too, but actually 9 of those, and they're all galaxies. And the other ones for Messier objects, 6 of the 7 are galaxies. So I'm going to skip the finest NGCs and just talk about the Messiers here shortly. Okay, now here are the 7 main stars here. And you can see a lot of things here in the Big Dipper. So you have Alkaid back here, famous double star, Alcor and Mizar, and in Britain, that's known as the Horse and Rider. So Mizar is Alcor is the little tiny one beside it that is often used as a seeing test. And rumor has it that if you're in the army, or you're going to be in the army, that was your seeing test. If you could see that star Alcor, you were in the army. If you couldn't see, you're probably in the army as well, but put on the front lines. Alioth in here, so these 3 make the tail of the bear or the handle of the dipper. You have Megrez and Thecta, Merak, and Dubby. And so Merak and Dubby are also called the pointers because they point about 5 times their distance. They point roughly toward Polaris up there in the North Star. So when Cubs and see in the guide programs, if you learn how to find the North Star, that's the way they point them out. Right. Here's where we have the Messier objects. Up here, M101. All right, easy way to find that, just take the 2 stars here on the end of the handle of the dipper, and you make a right triangle or an equilateral triangle with M101. That's a face-on galaxy. Right, down in here is the Enigmatic M40, everybody's favorite, 2 stars. That's probably the review got from everybody as well, at best. And down here, in fact, we've got the M109, a faint galaxy. On the bottom here, we've got M108, another faint galaxy, and a really nice planetary nebula, the Owl Nebula, M97. And for the other 2, we go up here to M81 and M82, which usually pick up in a wide field eyepiece and a telescope together. A lot of people look up to that one. You go through the diagonal here, and up in this area, about the same distance roughly. It puts you, say, without a binocular area of M1, M81, and M82. Sometimes they'll take it this way, go up through the pointers about that same distance, and take a right triangle over this way, puts you roughly in the same area. Now, another way I tried to do it at times, in a dark enough sky where I can see the rest of the bear here, you might look at this as the nose, although they've got it drawn there as the eye, but you picture that as the bear's nose. They come up that way. There's 3 stars here that are easy in binoculars, making a little arrowhead. You're pointing in over here, and you pick up a triangle, and go from that about the same distance, and again, to put you in that same area in there. All right, so that's where they are. Now, M101, the Pinwheel Galaxy, magnitude 7.9, and it's face on, so you can pick up dark sky. It's fairly easy to pick up in binoculars. I think you might have picked it up here in the backyard at times. Right, so it's NGC 5457. There's located in Mizar, and you see it, it's about 4 degrees from the middle of that line, making a right triangle. And so it's an easy way to pick it up. M51 here is actually a Canis Veritici, so won't talk about that one. All right, and we got M109, and there's an Effecta. All right, so right along the bottom here of the bowl, and it's a very short distance here from that one. So if you got your Telrad on there, you see it's only about 1 degree coming along the bottom here. Just extend that out a degree. That puts you onto M109. And M108 up here is they're both about the same, roughly the same magnitude. One's 10 and the other one's about 9.8 or 9.9. I did all the Messier objects with a pair of 15 by 63 binoculars, and M108 and M109 were the two toughest ones for me to get. And I think I tried each one about 5 times before I get it, starting from my backyard, and eventually I had to to Prince of Wales where it was darker. And the first time I tried there, I couldn't get them. So I had to go back when they were at the zenith. And then I was just barely able to tease them out. I could get it, and if I could hold it 2 or 3 seconds, then I knew I had seen it. All right, so that's magnitude 9.8 for that one. All right, so now we come over here for M40. So we're here at the top of the bowl, or right by the handle, and come up this way. So you come up from Fecta, up the backside of the bowl, and extend that up about 3 degrees in a straight line. That might put you into this. There's pair of stars in here, Winnicky 4, they're called, and that's it. That 2-star review on Messier 40. Now, when I had that in my C8 the first time, I did notice a faint galaxy off to the side here a bit, and it made me wonder if maybe it's Messier or maybe one of his machine there. Maybe they had seen that and recorded it, but I didn't see anything in the write-ups that they had picked that one up. So something made them think that was looked like a comet, maybe a night out before or something like that. All right, so magnitude 8, so you can pick it up easy, and a pair of binoculars might not be able to split it that well, though, but you can see them. All right, now I'm 108 in here, so you come down to here, and you got the 2 of them in here, M108 and M97. And wide field of view, you can pick them up at the same time. Even though M97 is a little dimmer, it might be a bit easier to pick up. And let's see it here. It's about the same magnitude, roughly 9.9 versus 10. So I was able to pick that one up, I think, from my house. Yeah, I was. And here at M108, I had to get that in a darker area. So it pops out a little bit better. It's called the Owl Nebula. And when you look at it in the telescope, you can see why. There's a couple of dark patches in there that look like the owl's eyes. And the last two, M182, M181 is called Bode's Galaxy. And we showed you how to jump that way. So here it is. It's an easy one to pick out, magnitude 6.9, fairly easy binocular object. It's somewhat face on. And by contrast, M82, which might even be easier to see at times because it's slanted like that, edge on, which makes it maybe stand out a little bit better. So it's magnitude 8.4. It's a good size. If you get doing imaging of that, a lot of people are picking up the jets coming out of M82. It's got an active galactic nucleus. So you can see them here together if you get a really wide field of view. There's M81, M82. And up here, roughly perpendicular to them, is another galaxy. And I remember looking up in that area maybe 5 or 6 years ago, because there was a comet right in here. So it had those 4 faint objects in there. Couldn't get them all in the same field of view, but searching around like that, it made for a nice view. All right, so we're out of them. Now there's another story that was famous and a very local one, because it did come out of this area with Enigma. And it does explain some of the things you see in nature, and there are different versions of this. Maybe I'll talk about a couple of them. So in this one, the bowl of the Big Dipper is a bear, new one. And the bear hibernates in his cave, which happens to be a corona borealis down here, a semicircle like that. Everybody's going to be starting to look over here in the coming months to hoping to see a nova. Right, so with this one, the bear comes out of the cave in the springtime. That's around the time that corona borealis is rising up in here. Now, there are seven hunters here. They're given bird names. And through a long, hard winter, the bear's going to be hungry. The hunters are going to be hungry, so they go off to chase them. It's usually chickadee that gets the first sighting of them. So here we have the first one here is leading the pack is robin. This is chickadee. Now they're going to chase this bear and try to hunt him down and kill him and cook him up. So chickadee, being the smallest one there, not moving that fast, but he's got a cooking pot on his shoulder. So chickadee itself is the mizar, and elcor is that cooking pot, big cooking pot on the shoulder like that. Now the one down here is moose bird, they call it, which is actually a Canada jay, or some people call it a gorby. The Canada jay is famous for being maybe a lazy bird. The lumberjacks are quite familiar with it because they get out their lunch and all of a sudden the Canada jays would show up begging for lunch. They're quite tame that way. And some people call it the bird that shows up just at the last moment, as they do for moochers. Now the other ones here, we have pigeon in here, fairly bright star, so a fairly big bird. So we got 4 stars here in Boetes. And the one down here, it might have a bit of a blue tint to it, so they called it blue jay. And this one might have a little reddish tint to it at times, so that's where it came from robin. Now Arcturus being by far the brightest star here, they call that one owl. This owl is going to be much bigger than them. And a dimmer star in here, they call that one saw-whet, which is a very tiny owl. Right, so the hunters start off to chase the bear, and they're moving around a lot, chasing right through the spring and through the summer, and everybody's getting tired, and the bear's got that fur coat on there, so he's getting really anxious to get away from these guys. They chase them right through the summer, then into the autumn. And it's the time when Big Dipper's coming around this way, like this. So you're getting in toward autumn, and you got the bowl here with the handle up like that, and Bodie's coming in behind it. And everybody's really tired and hot and hungry. And as Bodie's is coming down here, one by one, as these 4 stars, these get below the horizon, they say they're dropping out of the hunt. They either get lost or they get tired and give up. So one by one, they'll dip below and they're out of the hunt, leaving just the 3 here with the moose bird, chickadee, and robin. And you come to the point then where the bear says, no more flight, I'm going to fight. So as you see, the Big Dipper's coming around here, the bear itself, when it comes up this way, it looks like the bear's rising up on his hind legs. But at that time, then the bear turns around to face the hunters. It's just the 3 of them. So the closest one is robin. He takes his bow and arrow, right into the bear's heart. And blood comes spurting out there. So robin, being very, very hungry, jumps on the bear right away, and he gets all that blood all over him. So he flies up into a tree, up into a maple tree, and tries to wipe it off, but he's got that blood all over his breast like that. And chickadee said, told him that's going to be there forever. So that's why the robin has a red breast. So he shook his feathers like that, and all the blood on his feathers flew up from the leaves, made the maple leaves red. So it tells you another part of the of nature in there. That's why the robin has a red breast and why the leaves turn red in autumn. So the robin and chickadee cut up the bear, wondering where moose bird is, but moose bird's hiding in the bushes. He's waiting for all the work to be done. So when they finally get him up, get the bear cut up and get some meat off him there, start cooking up, that's when moose bird comes running out and has some excuse for being late. So they have a feast. They even feed moose bird there. They're going to take some of the rest back home to feed the rest of the people. So we're left then with just the skeleton of the bear. So over the winter, we see the skeleton of the bear higher up in the sky. Till springtime comes again, and the whole story starts over one more time. Now, there's another version of that that's somewhat similar. Bears are really, really big, but there's one bear that was bigger than all the others. And that particular bear was very, very popular. And anytime it went somewhere where there were people around, they would feed the bear and give him gifts. And he was very, very nice bear, I guess, a big, gentle Ben. Wherever he went, the people were giving him food, and it kept growing and growing and growing. Eventually, after some years, he got to expect all these gifts he was getting and all the food. One day, he comes across a camp with some people there, and they have very meager belongings and not much food, and they don't greet him like he's used to. So he gets all angry and gives them a hard time about not treating him special like everybody else does. And he's really angry and he demands food, so they share a little bit with him. That makes him even more angry because there's not much food there. So he gets vicious and kills them all. And then he goes off and he realizes that, I can do this with everybody. So I'm just going to be a nasty bear and take what I can get. So he's doing that then, going around to the campsites and villages and killing all the people. And people are getting really, really scared about this. So the council gets together and they come up with 7 hunters. They pick the 7 fastest ones, the 7 best trackers. But just like in the other story, they go to chase the bear. So the bear sees them coming, so the bear runs away. And this time they're chasing him and they're running around the earth. So on their 4th trip around the earth, they're going so fast that when they come up over the horizon, they just keep on going and go up in the air. Right? And eventually, as they're going up in the air like that, the first one, who was also called Robin, shot the bear in the heart and killed him. And so they're all up there in the air to show you that story. So we see them at different ones, different areas. Now, Navajo, they saw the Dipper and Cassiopeia as revolving man and woman. So they're moving around orbiting or revolving around the North Star. So you can see Cassiopeia as a woman, of course, and the Big Dipper here is the man. So they call it the roving man and the revolving man, revolving woman. West in the Snohomish and Puget Sound, these were elk hunters. Right, so the 4 stars here in the bowl of the Big Dipper, they were elk, and the 3 at the handle, they were hunters. And part of that story was the people we see the north coming down to the horizon. The people, that meant the sky was very low, and people to bump their head on the sky and get hurt from that. So they got all the people together with poles and they lifted the earth up or lifted the sky up so it made it up higher so nobody be bumped their head on it. But as they'd done that, there were 3 hunters off chasing the elk. And once they came back, they couldn't get back down under the earth. So that's why they were up there. More here. The Blackfoot saw these as 8 kids and a grizzly. Right, so apparently their oldest sister had married a grizzly, and their parents didn't like it, so he had the grizzly killed, or thought they had the grizzly killed, but the grizzly went after him. He killed the parents, and he went to kill the kids, so they ran away. The oldest of them, there are 8 there, but there are only 7 in the Dipper. So the youngest one is a baby, and that was that's Mizar in the story. And they were running away, and the oldest guy took a bow and arrow, shot it up, and stuck it into the sky. He had a rope tied to the end of it, so they all pulled themselves up from the rope to get up into the sky that way to get away from the grizzly. In Britain, it's easy to see a plow on this, and agricultural community, so you see in the sky what you normally see on the ground. Northern Europe, it was a wagon and oxen. So Scandinavians, it was Karlswagen, and that became Charles Wayne. Wayne is a wagon, and Charles apparently was Charlemagne. United States in the south there during the Civil War era, they called it the drinking gourd, which is like a pumpkin or a squash or something like that. They would usually carve one out and use it as a drinking cup. And they could see the Big Dipper there up in the sky, the drinking gourd. And so they knew if they headed in that direction toward Canada, they could escape to freedom that way. They even had a song about it, about the drinking gourd, telling them which way to go. In ancient India is the Saptarishi, which are the 7 sages. Aztecs saw this Texcatalopa, one more time, forget it. He was an evil god. He was the brother of a good god, Quetzalcoatl. and he was always causing disruption, things like that. He was chasing some people into the underworld sometime, but they got there before him and slammed the door in his leg, and it cut his leg off. So you can see he's got a fake leg there. And he got into his brother's stuff. He was an artist and things like that, messed up everything like that. So to get back at him, Quetzalcoatl, I changed him. At some time he changed him into a jaguar, but other times he changed him into a puppet. So you see him in the sky as a puppet. Now, if you think of the Big Dipper, and the front of the bowl there is the puppet's hands. As the Big Dipper comes around, the puppet is walking on his hands across the ground. And then as the rest of the dipper comes down onto the back legs, or the back end of the bowl, he's on his feet. So times he's upside down in the sky, sometimes he's walking on his hands, sometimes he's walking on his feet. In Egypt, it was looked at as the bull's hind leg. You wonder, how's that? But back up here, there's the back end of the bull, there's the leg. And so, yeah, it does look like that. Right, and in Arab countries, it was a coffin and the mourners. So they had the 4 stars of the bowl of the dipper. That was the coffin, or bier, B-I-E-R. Right, and there were the mourners that were trailing behind the bier. Now, beer sounds a lot like bear. Right? And some people can barely stand to drink beer. That's another story. So maybe that's where the beer came from, was maybe from the word beer there as well. A few other ones here in Greenland. It was seen as a kayak stool and a reindeer. So the stool, I've seen maybe videos of, see in Scandinavia, up there, and they have a reindeer harnessed and have a sled behind them. That would be the stool that they're on. Siberia, they saw it as a moose. So whatever you see in nature where you live, that's what you see in the sky. Now me, every wintertime around Christmas, I see it as Santa's sleigh here to go with Santa or Orion Claus here. Great, I think I might have one more here. Oh yeah, snake or eel, large anus. And I will end it here.
Thank you, Curt, for ending it there.
All right, yeah, if I can only find it, move this out of the way so I can get rid of that, and I'll end it. There you go. All right. Have I stopped sharing?
Not yet.
Okay, I gotta find that. Now I gotta move this still.
Just press any red button.
Oh, I can see, there we go. I had some banner up there hiding. There we go.
Hit the any key.
Back.
Tell us the rest of the story.
Last line, yeah.
Oh, there's many more. How much time you got? I can read all the books here.
Which one is the true one, though? Which one is true? That's the whole thing.
Yeah, that one.
Many ways. I guess it's the same thing for the moon. There's many ways to see things you want to see, isn't there?
Yeah.
Some people can't see that bear, but
If you have a fairly dark sky, you can see the rest of the stars. I can see it quite easily.
Yeah.
When I was out in Waterton Park, late 70s, around 79. And there's a mountain up there right beside the village called Bear's Hump. And I was wondering, where did that come from? And well, maybe the young bears are up there having a good time in springtime. But then I saw the Big Dipper rising up there, and it was rising up around that. So the hump of the bear was right there at the top of the mountain.
Oh, yeah.
So that might have been it. Probably or both are right. But,
Yeah.
that's where bears hump.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Curt.
Uppity.
I guess. Thanks, Curt.
That is the
Sure.
rest of
So stop it there, guys. It's a family-friendly show. Let's quit there. Overhead.
the story.
Awesome. Thanks, Curt. Appreciate that. Good information. And we'll go from there now to Albino Bud.
I know the bud.
But
I know bud.
Lino Bood.
Green 2.
There's a shots that go with the hat. None yet.
There you go.
There.
There you are.
Faith to Megara.
We squeezed it anyway. Somebody complained that my coffee wasn't green, but that's okay. So binocular target of the week this week by Albino Bud is The broken engagement ring.
Oh.
And it's all up in that area where Curt was earlier. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but the broken engagement ring is located near the bowl of the Big Dipper. It's made up of semicircular stars, about 15 minutes in size. The bright star in the upper left corner at 7.4 magnitude could be considered the diamond on the ring. And then, but the lower section has some, or on the right-hand side, has some stars missing, which could be the broken part, thus the broken ring. How would I find it in the sky? And again, once, if it was clear tonight, right at 9 o'clock, like Curt was saying, around 9:30, orient yourself 55 degrees northeast, look up, and you will find the bowl of the Big Dipper. And Merak is right here. If you come straight up, follow that line straight up, you hit the first bright star. That's about 7.4 in magnitude. And just off to the right, you're going to find the broken engagement ring right in here. Again, a little closer look, you come up, there's Merak. Come straight up to that bright star, look over here, and look, there's the semicircle with the diamond on the top and the broken back on this corner. So it is there, and it looks like a broken engagement ring. What does it look like? There's that 7.4 magnitude star. There's the bright star that acts as a diamond, and look at that. Half the ring is there, half the ring is missing. So it's pretty cool, actually, to look at. And you go, yeah, it could be considered a broken engagement ring. 10 by 50 binoculars, though, it's a challenge. She's a little bit small, but you come straight up, find that 7.4 and move across, and when you're on it, you'll see it, and you'll know that you're on the broken engagement ring. Compared to the full moon, well, it is smaller than the full moon, probably about the same size as, what's that, mirror Embrium up in the top, that big mirror up here on the top of the moon. So it's about the same size as that, maybe, but you will be able to see it. And are you ready for this one? If athletes get athlete's foot, then what do astronauts get? Mistletoe.
Oh.
That's binocular target of the week by Bino Bud.
Awesome. I want to share with you, Mike, because somebody shared one with me that wanted me to share this on the show tonight. So, how about this one? How was the moon like dentures? Both come out at night.
There you go. I like it.
There's another engagement ring out there that probably even more famous.
Is it broken?
If you look at Polaris, and
Yeah.
Polaris is a diamond, and it's fairly big, but it's easy in binoculars, and it's not broken, but it's a little bit dented. It's that's one that's quite well known.
I don't know. Sounds like it's right there with the Seven Sisters of the Pole.
Yeah, it might be the same thing.
Yeah, same
Could
thing.
be.
Yeah.
Hmm.
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 All right.
Those things that make you go,
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. It's one of those nights. Paul. Paul,
I
how about
digress.
a fun fact? Can we start with that?
Yes, I'll get us there. How's that sound? Can't promise anything, but I'll try.
You need
That's
a
what
green
I
beer.
do.
You need a green beer.
And this is this week's.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
Welcome back, Rosanna, with another absolutely. And this one is actually quite a fun fact. And I think we'll just get started right away. So let me start with our first picture. If I can get it in the right place. It never works for me, but there we go. There's the first picture. We're all set now. All right, so Rosanna writes, hi, Paul. I'm going to start right off with an amazing fact worth sharing. Even during the fraught time for NASA, there are over 100 active missions continuously studying the Earth, the solar system, and the universe. The resulting data are freely available to anyone in the world, multiplying the impact of every dollar invested. There are no private options for space science, like a library or a public radio station. The sharing of data in this way is a true public good. And space news is better news than most of the news that's out there. And I have to agree with that. It is definitely easier to stay sane while observing the stars or the recent lunar eclipse. How fantastic was that? It was worth losing a little sleep. Here's the pic probably most of the world has seen by now of March the 13th to 14th lunar eclipse viewed from space provided by Firefly Aerospace. Blue Ghost 1 received her diamond ring. That's interesting. So that's what it looked like from out there. An absolutely stunning shot, but I think the view that Paul Owen captured with the stars included was also a stunner. There you go. My view at 4:10 a.m. included Regulus, Spica, and the nebula, there we go, making a sparkling triangle around the moon in a moment of clear clouds. In a moment, clear of clouds. There we go. I never heard of clear clouds before. Years of data collected, shared, and stored since 1999 culminated I can't even speak, on March 11th with the news. A sudden listing by Minor Planet Center this week nearly doubled the number of known moons on Saturn. This is interesting. Although the data on the 128 new moons was reported all at once on March the 11th in a series of Minor Planet Center circulars, the data had been collected intermittently since 1999. This brings the total number of Saturnian moons to 274, the most of any planet in our solar system. Information for some of the moons have been informally reported before, but it took years of careful study to provide enough repeat observations to officially confirm that these objects, which span between 1 and 20 kilometers, or 0.6 and 12 miles, were indeed real moons of Saturn. The newfound moons are all irregular, meaning that their orbits are scattered in relation to the orbital plane of the rings and the larger moons. In addition, the majority of them circle the planet backwards or in retrograde in the direction opposite of the orbits of the other moons and planet itself. They also orbit as much as 50 times further out from the planet other than the major moons. I better go back to the other photo. There we go. Together taken, these observations suggest that the new moons are all captured asteroids or the remains of collisions of such objects, as opposed to objects that formed along with the planet itself. Back in 1671, when Giovanni Cassini discovered Saturn's second moon, Iapetus, I doubt he ever dreamed that Saturn moon discoveries would someday reach 274. So thinking of those moons, each of their own orbit, irregular or not, the majority of them in retrograde motion really inspires or possibly taxes the imagination. If you thought the first image looked messy, here's a more intense one. Wow. Thinking about 274 orbits led me back to the three-body problem in Newtonian mechanics. Adding a third celestial body to a gravitational system makes things wildly chaotic and unpredictable. This is a still from a mesmerizing three-body problem system posted on VIS Social, and I think you can find it on Instagram under user data _IS_beautiful. And it is a beautiful example of a periodic three-body systems. There we go. Gravitational problem. It is very fun to run the video, hitting pause randomly to see what you get. There is actually a video for this, but I couldn't load it up. So I'm just showing you the image now, but you can actually find this and look at the video. So, the real three-body problem will surface in a future fun fact, but for now, this might help, especially since there is an unpredictable third body constantly in the news. The three-body problem is a physics problem involving gravity and predictability of orbits. One body's orbit is stable and easy to predict. Two bodies stabilize each other. But three bodies orbit, it is impossible to predict. This is news to you? And that is this week's Rosanna's.
Rosanna's Fun Fact.
There we go.
Yeah.
there.
Awesome. Wow.
More moons than you can shake your stick at, eh?
No, you see that many moons and you think, well, Cassini spent 20 years out there orbiting Saturn.
Yeah.
Wasn't, it didn't collide with any of them, obviously, but I mean, you would think that some of the shots might have shown some of these moons, and then maybe they did.
Yeah.
Between 1 and 10 kilometer wide, that's fairly big. You think that
They
some
did pick some
would have been
up,
seen.
but yeah.
Hmm?
I
What's
think they did see a lot of moons out there, a lot of new ones
Okay.
with Cassini, but
Yeah.
whether these ones or
I
other ones
wonder if
looking
they.
for asteroids, yeah.
I wonder if they recognize them as that. Maybe they looked at them for a while and then maybe they didn't recognize them as actually being in orbit.
Yeah. They said they're
Yeah,
all.
well, that's what they've been doing. They've been watching or checking them so they give maybe a location for one and then try to pick them up later, or they can go back through older shots to see, work back where they could have been before
Right.
and try to get them in that area. So
Yeah,
I
when you
think,
get up to 274, how do you want to make sure you're not counting the same one twice
yeah,
as well? Because there's so many there. It's like, how do you know which one's which?
I would imagine they would have some kind of a computer program nowadays to actually
Yeah.
look at all those bodies and see if they're actually moving as a larger.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, like Rosanna said too, that they were irregular shapes, so they must have been able to see the shape of them, right?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
other thing that was fascinating there is some of the orbits look backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They look like they're opposing to the normal, which is interesting.
Some of Jupiter's
Yeah, but they're captured. The
Yeah.
captured ones typically are going in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Right.
That was the retrograde. I think she was talking about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, Rosanna.
Anyway, very interesting. Very cool. So Saturn is king.
Yeah, he is.
King of the moons.
Lord of the Rings.
Yes, indeed.
Lord of the Rings too, yeah. Okay. All right, let's go to some photos.
All right.
I got a few photos to share. Imagine I got a few photos to share tonight. I
No
wonder
way.
why. I wonder what happened this week.
what happened?
Yeah.
Hey,
Do we
that
have a
people
celestial
send
event or
photos.
something?
Yeah, something happened. Okay, let me see if I can get the screen shared here. I'm gonna go to screen number 1. Okay, I should bring it up.
There you are.
There you are.
All right, so this one's from Chris Bollock. Chris says, "Hi, Chris. He said, hope that you saw the lunar." No, not really. We tried. Yeah, there's another one.
Must have been using your bino.
There's 2 next year, and they're almost full. Not quite, but partials. But anyway, we'll get a chance next year. Yeah, I must have been using my vinyl stakes ball. Yeah. Anyway, here's an image from London, Ontario. He says exposure was 1600, a half a second, 3:15 Eastern Daylight Time. Processed and cropped in Canon Digital Professional 4. Equipment was a Canon R5 Skywatcher Esprit 120 refractor with Ioptron HAE 43EC.
Wow.
Yeah, so
That turned out very nice.
that's
Awesome. He actually got totality.
Hmm.
Not everybody did. That's great.
Now we got Clayton Carr here. He said, "I suppose everyone will have sent you pictures." So here is my scoop until the big prize gets clouded over. Shot with my Nikon D720. He said, with my 150 to 600 millimeter lens in manual mode. Here's another one of his. Third one, and a fourth one, and a fifth one.
Yes,
So,
sir. You can
yeah.
see the steps.
Yep, nicely done, Clayton. Thanks for those.
Yeah. Got all the phases.
I'm gonna go to Diane Creswell's picture here. Look at this now. Here we go. She says, "I'm attaching a few photos. I took the lunar eclipse Saturday, got clouded out. This was taken in La Tête,
That's it, right on.
Oh, yes.
yeah, down around St. George."
Yep.
Nicely
These
done.
were shots. Yeah.
Yep, there, yeah. Awesome. Nicely done.
Very nice.
From David Simard, a couple more pics. This is from his Sea Star, I believe. Nicely done,
Yeah.
David.
Very
Thank you.
good.
Ready for those? And
Awesome.
I think you got one more here, maybe. Is it one more? Yep, there it is. Nicely done.
Great job, Dave.
Everybody was trying to get her.
They were, for sure. This one is from Brad Perry. Brad says, "Here's a couple of captures of the lunar eclipse." He said, "I borrowed a second camera body from a friend so I could shoot both telephoto up close-ups using a tracker as well as a wide-angle star trails image. I'm going to show you that one in a second here. This is pretty neat. He calls it the cosmic Q-tip.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
That's a Q-tip.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
That's
says,
cool.
I found this lunar eclipse to be much more relaxed and enjoyable experience than the one in 2022. It was very cold, windy, and I was panicking about not having enough batteries during the last one. This time around, though, he said conditions were perfectly calm and I felt much more prepared. Looking forward to the March 29th date.
There you go.
Oh, very cool.
Nicely done. Thanks for those.
Very
Okay.
good.
I'm going to move from there to, what we got next? Robin Seeley's next, right here. And this is an aurora she said she caught. She got some aurora once the eclipse last night approached totality. This is from Pembroke, Maine, right within a few minutes of totality. So there you go. Some aurora.
No clouds. Wow.
Yeah. Well done. Yeah, I mean, and there was some mention about aurora last night. Simply the fact that the coronal holes on the sun have increased. I guess there's more of them, and there's another one that's turning around to face us right now that allows a large stream of high-speed particles to approach us. And over the last, I'd say maybe the last 4 or 5 days, people have been getting G1 to G2 level geomagnetic storms. So this was her view from Pembroke, Maine. So thank you for that, Robin. Never thought about the so yeah. If you hadn't been able to catch the lunar eclipse and if you had caught the lunar eclipse and the aurora at the same time, but that's pretty hard because they're on the opposite side of the sky. So, and then we have this one from Kathy Adams.
Oh yes.
Shot on. Nice collage.
I think a lot of people caught the first half and then got it in for the second half.
Yeah. But yeah, second half wasn't there.
Here's another one from Kathy.
Beautiful.
At Max. This is at Max. Nice shot, Kathy. Well done. Mark this picture here from a sea star. Hey, Mark. Good stuff.
Oh.
Kyle Frey here, put together with photos from my DSLR, he says. So nice collage there.
Yes.
Love the collages. Really nice.
Always love them.
Yeah, they're fun to look at.
Dan Garrett here, captured this one. He says, visiting Southern California with the storms, I didn't think I'd get an opportunity to see the eclipse, but the weather gods granted me a small window. He said, this is to capture with my Seastar S50. Honestly, the best view was naked eye, he said, and watching it turn blood red was jaw-dropping. It was really pretty nice when you did get that few moments for us anyway. Then the weather god said, no more for you, and clouds rolled in. Terminating the viewing, but an epic eclipse, he says. So it was for sure. Thanks, Dan. Here's one from Twilight. She said, it was too hazy to see anything but a red dot through it all, but as the eclipse began, this is how the sky above us looked through the haze. It oddly made the night a little brighter, and I heard a couple of birds chirping in the woods around us. So pretty cool. Yeah.
There you go.
Nicely done. Thank you. Carol Bean caught this one. She said, completely clear skies in Mazatlan, Mexico, just before midnight here. However, I didn't have my tripod with me, so the shot is not as sharp as I would have liked, but still nice.
Still, you got it, though.
Yeah, got it for sure. Edith McCormick sent this one in from Riverview. Is Edith?
Nice. Yeah.
Edith. 1 second, I'll check here. Quite sure it's, yeah, that's Edith. Okay. Awesome. Thanks, Edith. And Jeremiah Harding has this one in. I think the call was starting to affect my phone. So this was the last good pick, he said, and that was about 4 a.m. So still a nice job for the phone.
Yeah.
Really?
That color to look at that is something else.
And the stars around too. Like you got a lot of that, Paul, too, right? So this is kind of nice. Yeah. The stars. I mean, you don't normally see stars that close to the moon for sure.
No.
This one came in from Carissa, I'll say, Lendells. She says these were taken across the bay in Eastport, Maine. There you go. Nice. Thanks, Carissa.
Nice.
Is it Carissa or Korea? I don't know. I'm sure. I think it's Carissa. Anyway, we're going to carry on. Lindsay Higgins, I think, is next up. Yep. Clouds at my location, she says as well, but I did get a decent pick of a full moon prior to the clouds. So
yeah. Nice job.
Nice consolation prize for sure.
It was nice and clear before.
Yeah. This is from Taylor Sowers. I was lucky to miss the cloud cover this morning. There you go.
Yep.
You sure did. Great shot.
In there.
Yeah.
And I'm going to go from there to One from, this was from Bobby Joe Nash. That was like, no, I'm sorry, that was Taylor Sower's last one, wasn't it? Yes, it was.
Yeah, I think you're right.
This one is Bobby Joe Nash. I think this one here is Bobby Joe Nash. Yes, it is. So awesome. Another one where
See so many people got it.
yeah. From Nebby Litton. This was a few minutes after 4 a.m. She says, thank you for all the information you always provide. Always a pleasure, Debbie. And I'm going to go from there to, I think Amy Price is up next. That's this Amy Price. She says, took this one at 4 a.m. What a beautiful moon, she said, from Indian Mountain.
Oh,
Nicely done. Joseph Ingalls, this one.
it was placed nice and high in the sky. You
Was, yeah.
didn't really have to go anywhere to see it. It was so high
Yeah.
up.
That's right. And even when it ended, it was still quite high.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
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 Joseph, thank you, Joseph, for that. And here's another one here from Elizabeth Copeland. Nicely done.
Yeah. It's nice how she got the transition from
Mm.
where it's not quite in totality and
Yeah, in the darker part down here. Yeah,
yeah, but it's just a nice graduation. That's very nice.
very nice.
Yeah.
Rob and Diane LePage sent these ones in. Here's one. Here's the second one, and a nice one. And there's a third one.
Yes, sir.
Well done.
Different stars and different views.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, different depending where they are. Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And how much it moves across in front of them.
Yeah.
Well, the moon, that's the thing I noticed, that the moon was moving. It moves at a rate that it always does, but it moves quite quickly. So as I was taking the images when it was getting around totality, you could see, like, and when I progressed through my images, how it was actually moving into the stars, like moving in the face of the stars, same day, as it always does. But so I'm not surprised that there's a whole bunch of different stars in different places, because it's always on the go, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Rob. That's Rob and Diane. Thank you for those. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Next up is Annie DeBucce. And she said, she said, I just want to take a moment to thank you for covering the lunar eclipse live, even though conditions weren't ideal in St. John. It really made a difference to have you there. It felt like we weren't alone in watching the incredible event. Thank you for that, Annie. Here, despite a foggy start at 2:30 a.m. in Dieppe, she said the clouds eventually moved away, making way for the full spectacle. In my photo, you can see a time lapse of the eclipse from 2:30 to 5:45 a.m. Thanks again for your dedication. She said it was truly appreciated. Wish it could have been a better view for you, Annie. on my side, I guess people were taking pictures, and I was just accompanying them in the background because I had nothing. It's just black.
Yeah.
I took the YouTube video down. It was just so embarrassing. Anyway. It was used in Nikon Coolpix P1000 on moon mode, she says. Pix montage in Adobe Photoshop. So nicely done, Annie.
Yeah, she got really crisp shots.
Yeah.
And that turned out beautiful.
Yeah, really nice shot.
Great job.
Thanks, Annie, for that. I'm going to go from there to Ken Muscola. Now, Ken has sent me a different one. He said, hello, Chris. He said, in case there's availability for something different to show on tonight's show, taken at 2:19 outside of Toronto, he said, identified some craters in a sea mirror Humboldtium.
Yeah.
Humboldtium. One of only two seas named after people. He said the sea was named after Alexander von Humboldt, a prominent explorer of unknown lands, lying between the visible and far sides of the moon, like a link between the known and the unknown. Not visible, but for reference, are the famous craters Atlas and Hercules. So there we go.
That's awesome.
Thanks, Ken, for that. Yeah, this is a nice different view for sure.
Yeah.
I'm going to go from there to who we got up next. We got Mr. Mike Powell.
Oh,
hey,
we got half of it.
Yeah.
Just flip it around.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did
Just
think
do
of
a mirror
that,
image.
but the craters and the mirrors are in the wrong spot.
Oh well, nobody noticed. Nice shot though, Mike.
At least you got all of it, Mike.
For the view we had.
Till totality, and then the wall of clouds just wow.
Yeah.
And when you did have holes in the clouds, it was on either side of the moon.
If you cranked up your shutter speed time, it'll blow right through a lot of the clouds. That's what a lot of people did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Well, when it was black, it was black. You
Oh
couldn't.
no, when they're too heavy, they're too heavy. But the thinner clouds, you could blow right through it.
Yeah, half of those are in wispy stuff, but still,
Yeah.
Still nice. So
Well, it turned out good though.
it was fun to go down and shoot. It was a great
Yeah,
time.
sure.
Yeah.
Mr. Owen, your shot, your capture, Paul.
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
like
There
Yeah.
he had little faces.
beautiful.
Nicely
Yeah,
done.
pretty much the same things everybody else got. It was a thrill to watch.
Yeah.
And to naked eye it, never mind the cameras and stuff, to stand out there. There's just something special about that sky when it's like that.
Yeah.
It doesn't look the same as if it's just like new moon. It just looks so different.
Yeah.
And anyway, it was a thrill to watch for sure.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. And one last one here from Dan Copeland. Nice
Very
capture.
nice.
And Dan sent me in a video too. If I can, I'm going to try to share it. I don't know if it'll work or not, and I got a few from others, but I'm going to have to just probably share one because we're running late here. Like, I'm going to see if this will work. Does it come up in the right window? It didn't come up in the right side. Let's bring this over here. Can you guys see that
Yep.
now?
Oh yeah.
So this is all sky cam. So see if it's going to work. Go back here. Here we go. Dan's all sky cam images. So we'll watch the cam here. Click by. For those who don't have know what an all sky cam is, it's just a camera pointing up, straight up.
Yeah.
As much of the sky as possible. And here comes the moon. And we'll see it dim down here once we get across part of the sky. There it goes.
Oh, that was cool.
It'll disappear. Actually, it disappears. That's this part of the phase. Here comes the eclipse phase. There's the eclipse phase gone. And
And then it's going to come out here in a minute.
here comes partial coming back out.
Oh, that's so cool.
Isn't that cool? Yeah. Yeah, nicely done.
Oh,
That's awesome.
Thanks for that, sir. Okay, we're going to take that one over here. I'm going to go from here. So if you have any photos to share, of course, we'd like to get them right here. Send them into astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them up on the next broadcast, of course. From there, I'm going to go to, hang on, where was I? I was here in here. Okay, go from there to this. Lisa's Look Up Astronomy More. Lisa puts out this calendar every month. Here's her March calendar for March. Okay.
March calendar for April.
For March, yep. Anyway, she lists the event here, the date of the event, the peak times for the event here, and seeing tools, naked eye, binoculars, or a telescope. Lisa's joined us a little bit late here because she said her power went out. She has a storm down where she is
Oh
tonight.
no.
Yeah, so good luck there, Lisa. Hope everything's okay.
yeah.
She'll join us eventually. So you can find Lisa at Ruby Moonbeams on Instagram, Mastodon, Facebook, Threads, and now on Blue Sky. And Lisa also offers a nice look up. Lisa's Look Up presents what to look up for in 2025 North America. So you can download this right at her page on her Facebook page as well. And that's great to have a copy of that as well. So thanks, Lisa, for those. Curt puts together this calendar for us. This is the February-March calendar. We have offered this at sjastronomy.ca. You can get it there, or at rasknb.ca. And this is the 6 week, I guess, Curt, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 weeks. Yeah, 6 week calendar, and we're up to the 22nd here. So
Curt, what's Orion's Day?
yeah, what Orion's or is that just? Oh, that's just because it's
It was St. Patty's, but I'm just wondering what's Orion got to do with it?
it's a dad joke.
Oh,
Orion.
Orion.
Yeah,
Ah.
He's Irish.
Ba-doom-choom, ba-doom-choom. Boy, Paul, I thought you would have picked up on that one right away.
It's a tough room, I got to tell you.
Anyway, thanks for those, Curt. Always
That's
great
awesome.
to
Orion's Day.
refer to. I did have my children's eclipse contest closed on Friday night. I did get a number of entries at the last minute, got quite a few entries. So I am putting together all the entries right now, trying to make a nice little video for them. And I'll be presenting that later on this week along with the contest winners. So we'll make a draw. I'll make an announcement here on my Facebook page when I'm going to be ready to do that. Right now I'm working full-time hours, so it's a little hard to squeeze it all in, but I will promise to have it done this week for sure. And coming up next, of course, is the partial solar eclipse. From St. John, it starts at 7:09 a.m. Its maximum will be at 7:18 at 0.864% magnitude. So 86%. Curt, that sound right?
Yep.
86%. It ends at 8:13, so it's a pretty quick eclipse. from 7:09 to 8:13, and this one happens at sunrise. So you're going to watch this set of devil's horns basically come up over the horizon, and that's rare, and it's only available in Eastern Canada. So get out, and it's a Saturday morning. Yay! So it's a 7 o'clock Saturday morning. So get the kids out. Take your glasses with you. You will need your glasses for this one. You do need eye protection for it because it is not a total eclipse.
So, Chris, maybe what we can do, because we got one more show before that's there, right?
Yeah.
So maybe what we'll do is we'll talk about how to enjoy that safely.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I can go back to the old pie plate things that I had made up last
Yeah,
time.
and I'll take pictures of it maybe and stuff. Yeah, because people are going to want to do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good idea. We'll do that next week. Sounds like a good show. Okay. So that, don't forget that one. And we did make an announcement this week that we will be partnering with timeanddate.com to offer a live stream, their live stream for them. We're going to feed them the live stream from our location since they're not able to pick it up from where they are. So they did approach us. We talked quite a bit about it, and the people are fantastic on this page. They get over 2 million visitors a day on their website, and their videos got, I think they had 420,000 views of the lunar eclipse recent one just on Friday there. So we're very, very pleased and very excited to be able to offer a view of the partial solar eclipse to the folks at timeanddate.com. So thank you for that ask, and it's great to be able to be involved in it. Fingers crossed for clear skies. Boy, really.
Go New Brunswick, go.
For sure. If you want to learn more about the eclipses coming up and stuff, I got this page on Facebook too. You can follow this at Solar Eclipse 2025, and I've been posting in there. There's more than 325. I think there's more like 1,000 members in there right now. So just follow that page, and I'll be posting information about the eclipses coming up there. So anyway, I'll stop share from there.
There you go.
Not bad.
Not bad at all.
Bad tall. Not bad tall.
Bad at all.
Okay, I just need a second here to get my notes together as I normally do. So I think we're about to sign off every night. I think.
Could you when we sign off, could you kind of walk into the abyss?
I try doing that every week anyway, Paul.
I know, but you can do it this
Try to
week.
put it behind me as quick as possible.
It's real. It's just like
I
we're
go
watching a
back and look at my
sci-fi
photos,
movie
like-
where you're walking into the wall. It's so cool.
I'm walking back into the eclipse like.
Yeah, just walk away. Don't face us. Turn around, walk away.
Oh, walk away.
Yeah, there you go. Walk. There he goes. There we go. He's gone.
Oh, he's back. It needs some music or something playing in the background.
Yeah, we need some anonymous music. We didn't have that.
Okay. Well, let me bring my slide over here, and I'll stop things
I
here.
think they call that Chris appearing.
That's kind of like, yeah, I think so. Oh boy, that's rough. Okay, so that's our show for this evening. We also hope that you enjoyed the program tonight. Special thanks goes out to Curt Nason for joining us again tonight. Thanks, Curt. Always a pleasure having you on. Bring you back again next month.
I'll be here.
That's all great. Okay. Special thanks too goes out to Rosanna for another interesting Rosanna's fun fact. Appreciate that, Rosanna. Going to start looking for those moons now. A special thanks to all of you who share our program with your friends and family, especially Trudy, who shares it to a number of sites for us. Thank you, Trudy. Remember too, we do love getting your photos, so send them in to astronomybythebay@gmail.com, and we'll be happy to put them up on our next broadcast. And don't forget about, I'll be making a draw for the contest this week, so I'll be posting that information soon. So until next week, wishing you all clear skies. As we like to say, guys, open your eyes to view the skies and keep your scopes pointed up. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And I think I'll go with maybe the screen here. Okay. Here we go. You'll sign out.